Today's kind of a low-key day. It's kind of meh outside. It's like super humid and anyways, so I'm working inside today, and a while ago I bought this thing. It's a little Belkin, yeah, Mo switch, which I guess is a Wi-Fi enabled switch. So I'm gonna install that today for our bedroom. So this switch that's hiding over here, and so because everything is like on a rotary switch in this house, and whoa, seizure light. Anyways, so I'm gonna kill the power, open it up, and see what's inside. Alright, I've killed the power on this side of the house so I can hear my ups in the other room complaining. And this should give me some light, which is power from the other side of the house. So I'm going to open up this plate and see what kind of horrible wiring I have to deal with, because I'm sure it exists in down there. And down there. Alright, that's kind of what I expected to see, but I didn't know it was going to be a huge plate-like thing. I'm like trying to figure out if there's a box in there. I hope there is, because that would be weird if it wasn't. Alright, I'm going to get my little tester things. Come on. Come on, you bugger. Oops. Huh. My tester. Huh. I've misplaced my tester. Huh. Well, I'll get my meter out. Alright, so I opened it up, and I found stuff that I didn't expect to find, which is kind of coarse. Electrical tape, okay, and I can't really seem to find where it doesn't really look like it's wired. I don't know what's going on here. This is, I think this is just a control box almost, which is just the worst. So, yeah. So I'm gonna double check and make sure the power's off, fiddle around in here and see if I can figure out what the hell is going on. Alright, I think I got an idea what's going on. I actually expected to see these two connected in some way. Like this is a three-way switch for upstairs. But I was expecting to almost see this jumped over to this to control it. And I'm not seeing that, which is confusing. I'm not absolutely certain where the power for this switch is coming from. Again, I look at it and I know that that's the power coming in right there, but at the same time it's like, okay. Is one end with the one end and the other? It doesn't make any sense to me, honestly. So I'm a little confused on what to do at this point. It's just not. It's never as simple as we want it to be, huh? Not exactly certain what to do here. I've got the wires exposed now, and if I had some light you could see that. I got the wires exposed. Now I'm trying to decide which one's which. I think that this one is black and this one's white, so live and neutral. I think. It's like at some point in time, somebody went through this hell and they decided to run a new piece of cable and say screw it. And now I'm here looking at it going, oh god. I don't know that I have the option to run, because it has to run all the way to there. Whoop, to there, 5 point. So it might be an option, but it's not an option today. So what I'm going to do is probably not a great idea, but I'm going to hook up my meter to this here, and then I'm going to go turn the power on and see, do I actually have power here, or is it just some kind of through line? My fear is I'm coming from some source, it's coming through here, and then running over to the light, and then returning some other way. So, which would suck. Which would suck. So I think what I'm gonna do is hook my meter up and see if I'm getting voltage here, or am I getting some kind of other thing. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Alright, I went and flipped the breaker, and I got 115, some kind of alarm. So looks like it's power. So I should be able to put my new switch right there, and hopefully it'll work. Alright, I've gone and killed the power, and then we'll open up our little Belkin box here. I think I've showed this already, but I was quite happy with the boxing of this thing. So here's the actual switch. It comes with this cover, which we're not going to use because not big enough to cover the whole thing. So we're not going to use that. But it comes with, here's the switch. And it doesn't have terminals or anything, which is kind of strange to me, but okay. There's gotta make sure I install it this way, because right there's a name. I don't know if I can read it. It's the product name. There it is. So gotta make sure to install it that way. And it comes with 3 wires. I've only got 2 wires, so I think I can ground into the box maybe. Ground in this house is really weird, so I don't know. Anyways, so it comes with the switch, which is nice, and then it comes with 4. So I guess I assume we're gonna lose one, but 4 wire nuts for installation, because you never use electrical tape. Because you never use electrical tape for anything, as far as I can tell. Maybe, you know, high school projects or something. Anyway, so I'm going to hook this up, and I will see if it works. So I was looking at the new switch, and on the back of the new switch is this little graphic. I can't see it too well because of the wires. Move those wires out of the way. So there's a little graphic. It says switch, neutral, and ground. And there's 2 wires. And I've got 2 wires. And I was like, huh, I don't have a white wire, I don't think. So I started poking at it, and, well, I don't recommend anyone ever do this. But, so the power is on. You can see no light on. If I take Mr. Jumper wire here, again, don't try this at home, and I connect it. Scare me. Yep, connect it. Boom. I got a light. So, I think that's my switch wire. So those are my 2 black wires. I need a white wire. Now there's a white wire right there. But I don't know if I come over and reach over and grab that white wire if I mess this whole thing up. So, grrr. Alright, well, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but I now have got a splint coming over to this other fixture here. So I've got this fixture's wired up to this fixture's. I don't like doing that. Part of me thinks there's something wrong there, but I think that's as good as we get. And then I've got the two control wires going up to here, which makes a whole lot of sense now that I think about this guy. This is just essentially a big resistor, I guess, or something like it. Variac or something. Anyways, I'm going to go flip the power on, and hopefully it won't all burst into flames. Well, so far so good. Okay. Well, let's test our light switch here. Oh, our light switch is doing stuff. Let's push the button. And hey, light. Cool. Oh, it even has a little power symbol when it's lit up. Cool. Let's check our three-way here. Make sure we can still flip it. Hey! That one's working too. Cool. So, that's all working. It's doing something. Probably initializing. I probably should read all these instructions and figure out that. But, so far so good. Okay, now I'm going to go turn the power back off and cram everything back in the box. And fingers crossed on that one. Alright, the power's back off, and one more addition to the system. I added the last wire nut right here under the ground, because I'm not going to be able to ground the thing. I can't get it to grab onto anything in this box, and I don't actually know if that's the best idea to do that either. But anyways, I added the wire nut because you don't want it floating around in there. Maybe it would connect over here and start shorting out on this switch. Yeah, you just don't want that. So I think one last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the vacuum and just vacuum all the dust out of this thing. I don't know if that's the right thing to do either, but it sounds like a good idea to get dust, which is dirt and kind of hair and fluffy flammableness, out of an electrical area. Alright, that's a lot cleaner. No longer is there a bunch of crap just down in there in the bottom and hanging on the light switch and stuff. So I'm happy about that. Now I'm going to close her up. Alright, well, I got it in there. So now it's all kind of crammed in there. I had to modify the ground a bit. Cut that down because just bulk of cable. That box is not very deep. So now I pop the power back on, and hopefully it doesn't pop immediately back off. And we close her up. Make it look pretty. And there we go. We've got it online. You can see it's doing its flashy, flashy, flash. And ta-da! Light in, light on, light off. Cool. Alright, and then stairwell on. Cool. So that's resolved. Now I gotta close it up, make it look pretty, and install the software and see if I can make her work. Alright, and there it is. All done and pretty. Which one's new and which one's old? We'll never know. So that's all done, and now I gotta get the software and see if I can do the install, because right now it's doing this thing. This is what it's flashing. So I'm assuming that's trying to tell me, hey, I'm not set up yet. So I looked for instructions, and there wasn't any. I don't see any. So looks like, oh wait, hold on. There's this thing. Okay. So advisement, before you install, yes, yes, know how to do things. I pretend to know, yes, yes, yes. Alright, so it's all hooked up, install, screw in, turn back power on, configure Mio via smartphone. So now I gotta go download a app for my phone, and I'm assuming it will walk me through the rest of it. Well, there we go. I got it installed, and now it no longer is flashing its little Wi-Fi thing. And I did install it on the software on my phone. It was a little frustrating, only in the sense that, gotta get out of that. Only in the sense that, well, I installed it, it connected it, it somehow messed up, and then I was able to get it back to working. I just had to run the whole thing over again. So in other words, it wasn't a flawless startup, but you know, for the most part, it worked okay. And now it's programmed to run these rules, and it's set for a 330 daily test to see if it worked. Now, I've had a couple of different systems like this. This is Belkin Wemo light switch, and so far so good. I mean, it's a hardware install, so it's a little bit more of a pain. I had some TCP lights like this, which are actually in the bulbs, but the problem, it worked okay. And there it goes, 330, boom, lights on. I like it. So it works like a real thing. And then, of course, you can see it's lit up here. That was pretty nice. And then you can easily... That's kind of weird, though. I mean, it's basically a relay, and you probably can hear this. So, I mean, it's obviously just a relay in a box with a little microcontroller. But at the same time, not too bad. Not too bad at all. We'll see if we like it.